Greetings and welcome. As always, I am Wrath, and this is Xenonauts. For those of you who are not familiar, Xenonauts is a remake of the classic XCOM games for the old computers. Not to be confused with the newer XCOM and like XCOM Enemy Unknown games. This is much more of a true successor to the look and feel of the original XCOM games. Now, this game is available on Steam. It has been released. It was in early access for a good long while, but they're up to version 1.59, I think. And it's a really good game, so you should check it out. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Now, we're going to do a new game, and this option right here, Iron Man mode, is really important because I'm not going to be using it, even though I normally would, because it doesn't let you take back your mistakes. But for recording purposes, I'm going to leave this off just so that if I have an error in recording, I can go back and restart the recording. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to just do this on normal because I'm not awesome at these games. I actually suck terribly. So let's go ahead and get started. And they start you off with the world. Now the lore of this game is that it starts off, everything starts happening in 1979. So that really affects the look and feel of the game. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's find a place for our base. Now I actually like these three concentric rings here. Show you like you can have you only get benefits for having 3 radar stations on your base. So they show you basically if you have all 3, this is how much area you'll cover. So that's a really good update that they did. Oh, I don't know what version that was, but it wasn't that way originally. They would just show you the first inner ring. So I'm going to set up right here, and I think that's, I'm not sure if that's Saudi Arabia or, I don't know, but we're going to go ahead and name our base, and we'll name this Wrath Base. Okay, so now that we've set that up, we're going to go right in and start editing the base and making some modifications. But first, I'm going to save in case anything happens at this point for my recording purposes. So let's go ahead and do... Alright. So we'll save that. Okay, so we're going to go in and edit our base. And I always get the radar station started off because you start off with a really good amount of funds, and these are really expensive. So you want to kind of get them out of the way real quick. The other things you're going to need is, more than likely, you're going to need a medical center so you guys can recover more quickly. You're going to need if you want vehicles, you're going to need a garage, but I'll leave that for later. And you're going to need more living quarters. So we're going to slap that on there. I'm leaving myself room for more research and construction facilities. This is your research, this is your construction. The layout of your base is actually really important. We're going to add a couple more hangars here just so we have more room, because this base is really going to need to be able to push its boundaries pretty quickly. Alright, so research always starts off with alien invasion. You don't have anything to build yet, and now we look at our troops here. Now, whoa, we've got some badass troops. Let's see here, wow. Well, they must have upgraded this quite a bit, and for those of you who can't hear, there's a big helicopter flying over my head, so sorry for the background noise. And I'm going to go ahead and pull all these guys out and reassign them based on who I actually want to use. Now you're limited to, I think, 8 guys in your transport. Let's go check here. Dropships. Yeah, you're limited to 8 that you can put in your original dropship. Don't have that. Okay, and this is where we actually change the loadouts of our troops. So we're going to just take this generic guy and we're going to use him to set all of our pre-default loadouts here. So we're going to go ahead and throw all of those away. Alright, so let's start by, okay, set default equipment for assault. Change role. Start with our rifleman. Just get rid of all of those. Set default equipment. Change role. Sniper. Get rid of everything. And we're just doing this because I don't like their original setups. So I like to build them myself. And whenever you change, and let's see here, scout. Ooh, that's terrible. And you can actually modify these. Let's see here. Oh, specialist. Oh, I actually kind of like that. Okay, so they've obviously updated a bunch of different roles and stuff, and the role markers. So let's start with our rifleman. This is just going to be our basic infantry soldier. So we're going to give him a rifle, give him a couple of ammo, and and I always give all of my guys a med pack because it's super important. And we'll give him a little bit of debt there. And now the grenades are not all that useful except for these flashbangs. So I generally load up my guys with as many flashbangs as they can fit in their belt, with, you know, 1 or 2 extras. Let's see here, and that really should cover him for now. And he's not even sweating it. He's like super strong. So we'll set this as the default, and we'll change roles to our assault. Now these are your close-in fighters. So we're gonna give him the shotgun, a couple loads of those. Again, we're going to do that, and one of those, and 4 of those. Because that's still a fairly good load, and he doesn't really need much of anything else. You know what? Let's give him a secondary weapon of an assault rifle and 1 magazine. That'll help him in case he needs to engage in long range. So they can get in close if they have to, but if they don't, they can get going here. Okay, so we'll set that as default for the assault. Change role to our sniper. Obviously sniper rifle, double down on that. And I always still give each guy, because you never know when they're going to need it. So med packs are the order of the day. And there's a reason for all these flashbangs, because you can actually stun down the enemies with just the flashbangs without having to research the other stun weapons. It takes a lot more effort, but you can get captures early, which can generally give you a lot more to work with pretty early on. So, and we will give him a sidearm just in case, just because you never know. Alright, so we're going to set that as default, change role, and now for our heavy weapons guy. Okay. So heavy weapons is obviously the big giant machine gun, but we're still going to give him the benefit of the med pack and the grenades. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that puts him actually a little bit overweight, but that's fine. That'll help him get stronger. So we're okay with that. And then that should be that. Now I'm not going to mess with any of the other roles, just because I just wanted to give them all the med packs. So let's go ahead and go through our troops and find out who's doing what. So let's start with this guy. Okay. So Shohara. We're going to change you to our heavy weapons guy. Alright, go back. And let's go accuracy. Jennifer Lopez. Hey, look, we've got a star on the team. We're going to go ahead and change her role to sniper. And that should be good for her. So we've got our... oh, shoot. Okay. Let's change all these other guys to riflemen. So you go change to rifleman. And we just need to not change the ones we already did here. Change them all to riflemen. Okay, and then this other person is another heavy weapons person, so we will change him, change your role to rifleman as well. Okay, so basically we're just building our first team here, and that's going to be just important for us because we want to make sure that we've got everybody squared away. Now I always do, let's see, we want 2 assaults, so let's go with these 2 guys. Yana Nikova, you are going to be an assault. And then Spiros Dukas will also be assault. Okay, so, and then we'll just stick with everybody else as riflemen for now. Although I really do want to take a look at that role for... let's go back here. Jonathan Robinson. Mr. Robinson. Okay, I kind of like, let's see here, shield, I don't like that role all that much. Specialist. I am going to bring 1 specialist because, actually I'm going to want two of these guys. Because that gives us, can we squeeze a med pack on there? Yeah, we can. Okay. So, we'll set this as, set the default for the roll. And let's give him a couple more flashbangs. We'll only give him 3. Okay, so, let's go back. Strength. Rifleman's, okay, so Cooper Johnson, you will also be a specialist. Because that's actually really cool to have, you know, one-shot rockets when you need them, and demolitions, so definitely a good deal. I used to do a build like this and I just called them commandos, but this will do. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and assign our team. So we're going to want assault, specialist, let's see here, accuracy, rifleman, and then sniper and heavy weapons. Okay, and that'll leave these 2 riflemen as my sort of default backups. So that gives us, and we don't have any other special tools. Okay, so now we can go back to the map. Alright, so that puts us right about 15 minutes of getting set up, so I'm going to go ahead and save here, and we will push forward in the next episode where we will get our first contact with the aliens and face stomp them into the ground. So until then, I will catch you on the flip side.